What I say, they really will win the title without Kevin Durant. They really will win the title without Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant goes to the loser Phoenix Suns. They say his team is the best team in the NBA. Him and Devin Booker, unstoppable. The loser Phoenix Suns gonna win the title. In the loser Phoenix Suns, in the same year they missed the play, and Kevin Durant is gonna watch the Thunder win the championship. It is official. They not paying out, period. They not paying out, period. They get ready for next year. That's what they be doing right now. They be getting ready for the next 2 years when the LA Lakers win the back-to-back. They be ready to pay up the next 2 years. We make the killing on the Thunder to win the title at minus 320. Minus 188 before the start of the series. Minus 200 before the start of the series. They are not going to pay out anything this playoffs because they're going to get ready for what is about to go down. Go King the BANTAR winning the back-to-back titles. The tie Mike, the tie Kareem. 7 champs in their last 7 years. And Go King the BANTAR with number 77 is going to win the next title for the Lakers 77 months after the death of Kobe. We see the scoring king ritual. We see the 19 gematria playing out for Shy in Seattle, where the Thunder used to be located at. But Kevin Durant is going to the New York Knicks. He will not join the Thunder. Kevin Durant's born in the year of the snake. He's forever a snake. He's never going back to Oklahoma City. He will forever be known as the snake. He turned his back. He a snake for life. He never coming back. But in the year of the snake, they will win without the snake, Kevin Durant. How about that? Now the Thunder win without CUPCAKE. The basketball gods, so to speak, punishing Kevin Durant, destroying the element of competitive balance. He destroyed basketball for 2 years. And the basketball gods are going to be sure that he is going to go through some punishment and some more humiliation rituals. First, it was the Warriors that won without Kevin Durant. Now it's going to be his former team. And what I said about King LeBron James being scoring king on 2-7, Knicks fought a 2-7 in the finals, but it never ever was going to happen against the Knicks. Go King LeBron. Instead, we see the Gianna 2, Kobe 8 with the Knicks falling the 2-8 in the NBA Finals with Kevin Durant in 2027. Go King LeBron, the scoring king on 2-7. Okay. He's gonna tie Mike and Kareem at their birthplace in the year 27. Go King LeBron, the scoring king on 2-7 caps his legacy. I told you it was a psyop. I told you that this Thibodeau used to coach Minnesota. Julius Randle used to play for the Knicks. DiVincenzo. All this was a psyop. I told you it was a psychological operation. But what I was telling you in the Kevin Durant video, if the New York Knicks do fall to 2-8 in the NBA Finals. If the Knicks fall to 2-8 in the NBA Finals against the Lakers, Gianna 2, Kobe 8, go to on 28, 1 light path. Then we have the scenario where the New York Knicks are going to win the title over the Minnesota Timberwolves in 2029. Anthony Edwards, his first appearance in the NBA Finals in the year 2029. Get ready for Anthony Edwards against the Knicks in 2029. They're already planning Kevin Durant to join the New York Knicks. How you make sense of the numbers? Remember, 52 years without a title for the New York Knicks. Hartenstein used to play for the Knicks. Oklahoma City 52. 46 years without a title for, if you are the Seattle Supersonics. Jalen Brunson's your 46. Kevin Durant plays for the loser Phoenix Suns. He plays for the loser Phoenix Suns. Now the Thunder win the first title in 46 years. And Oklahoma City's the 46th admitted state in the union. But you see, psychological operations still happen. It certainly happened in the NFL. The most notable psychological operation is the fact that they said the Lions are going to play the Ravens in Super Bowl 58. This was a psychological operation, and these things do happen. And we've seen it in the Europa League final. One was the script, the other was the psyop. Hartenstein, New York Knicks was the script. KAT, Randall DiVincenzo was the psyop. I was on the reverse for the Europa, where Bruno Fernandes, Udinese for the Super Cup was the psyop, and Vicario, born at Udine, was the actual script. So I'm telling you, psyops do happen. I was on the opposite side of the psyop for the Europa. I'm on the right side of the psyop for the NBA Finals. They win without Kevin Durant, the Thunder, and PSG wins without Mbappe, and PSG ends the Champions League drought for France, and this coming after Spurs ended a trophy drought for themselves. The NBA is boring as hell. These matchups suck. Man, when was the last good matchup in the finals? These matchups suck. Legitimately, they suck. It can be good for basketball to have upsets in the conference semifinals. Your number one and your number two go down. That's good. But at what cost for the NBA Finals? You have predictable matchups. It makes the finals garbage. It may or may not be entertaining to see Kyrie Irving clowned by Boston. But those of us that had a brain, we knew the Mavericks had no chance with these bunch of scrubs against the Celtics, who have an all-around team. We've seen the Miami Heat against the Nuggets. That was completely one-sided. Everybody knows the Knicks are not going to beat the Thunder. The Knicks ain't got no chance to beat the Thunder. The only reason to watch, of course, is to see the NBA Finals return to Madison Square Garden. That's always something fantastic. It's always cool to see basketball at Madison Square Garden, but at the end of the day, it is a predictable matchup. You have your underdogs, your underdogs against a team that is too good. Means the finals is boring yet again. The Warriors were on top on the West, so were the Celtics. That was a great finals. Bucks were the underdog and losers Suns were the underdog. Okay, those were two underdogs. They kind of meshed together. 6-game series, 2-0, 2-2, 4-2. Every final since 2022 has been garbage. We need to go keep the ball back. We need the Celtics back in the finals. And that's good. Underdog, we keep your underdog status next year. When the Celtics struggle, now they become an underdog. But they are a deep team. But they will struggle without Jason Tatum. I'm telling you, the Celtics going to make it back next year. PSG are going to win without Mbappe. The rich Qatar owners, they're going to get their Champions League title. One of the 3 clubs to never join the Super League. UEFA is going to reward and pay back PSG for never going against the establishment, which is UEFA. Mbappe purposely lost against Arsenal because he knows what is about to happen. He was going to avoid the humiliation of losing against PSG altogether. So this is terrible. We have another boring one-sided matchup. I know the public said otherwise last year. Everybody on the public was all over the Mavericks. But that finals was boring. And no, beforehand, I wasn't going to say that the Mavericks, I told you they had 0 chance. And I knew these role players that they had being carried by Luka, I knew they had no chance. That was a one-sided matchup. The Knicks are just not good, period. They had to be helped by the NBA to beat the Boston Celtics. They told the Celtics to stop playing basketball in the second half of those games. So I like New York. The fan side of me likes to see New York teams win, but then the Knicks are still carried by the NBA. You had your WWE event. It may have been last year. Brunson, I don't know the context of the WWE event. If it happened around the time that these 2 teams faced off in the conference semifinals last year, or did that happen some recent time before the start of the season? So I got to see more context for that photo between Jalen Brunson and Tyrese Halliburton meeting in the WWE ring. And so my only question for that is, that stage event, did it happen around the time of the matchup last year, or was it after the matchup? And we get ready for part 2. But I think with legalized betting, we see more psychological operations. And these script writers know what they're doing. You have the KAT trade, and now the 2 teams are in the conference semifinal. For the last time, he is not Michael Jordan. Lay down the powder. Everyone who doesn't, not everyone who has a 30-point series suddenly becomes Michael Jordan. You be calling Devin Booker Kobe. You be calling Anthony Edwards, Michael Jordan. He ain't Michael Jordan, he Anthony Edwards. He disappeared in game one. He balled today, but the Timberwolves don't have enough. And this is another reason why the Lakers had zero business losing against Minnesota, but the NBA is rigged. You see, that's why they had to lose that series. NBA never was going to let the Lakers win that series. You see, the Timberwolves are trash. You see, they had no business winning that in 5 games. But the NBA is all about rituals. 41, the magnificent number for the upcoming season in the NBA. Let's tie GOAT King LeBron into this season. If Kareem's born at New York and GOAT King LeBron was the scoring king on 2-7 against the Thunder, and the Thunder beat the New York Knicks for the Knicks to fall to 2-7 in the finals. Basically, that event happens right before the repeat in 2027. So this event leads to the next event. Scoring King 2-7 against the Thunder. Thunder win the title for the Knicks to fall to 2-7 in the finals. Then repeat time. And then repeat time with GOAT King LeBron James, Ty, Mike, and Kareem in the year 2027. That is the ritual. That is 100% the ritual. Is they're mocking the fans with the numbers surrounding the day that GOAT King LeBron James became the scoring king. GOAT King LeBron became the scoring king on the 38th day of the year, and guess who the Thunder are going to beat to make it to the finals? Minnesota Camacho 38. And the king is Camacho 38. Well, the only team they lose against is a Minneapolis team. Well, who cares? It never was going to say that the Timberwolves are going to win the championship. I never was giving the Minnesota Timberwolves any chance with the psyop and Las Vegas factors that I mentioned right before. This confirms it. I may have to rewatch the video, I think, of the GOAT King LeBron scoring king connection. Did I mention the year 27 in that video? But anyway, we knew to fade the Thunder, the Timberwolves to win the West. And it's kind of worthless to predict game by game. Pretty much, I'm only concerned about who's winning the series. Psychological operation. So in the video, Jog CC 779 says Wolves versus Knicks like Liberty versus Lynx in the NBA. You see, that's psychological operation. Now, okay, you gotta give the Timberwolves game 3 so you somewhat keep it kind of interesting for game 4. Like game 5 at OKC getting it done. Alexelka says, IDK, man, this script has changed so much, I have no clue who's winning the chip. I reply back with, the script never changes. They only have one script before the season. There's some occultic black magic associated with Jason Tatum's injury. Jason Tatum's injury, these NBA occultists, black magic lunatics, they had to plan that injury somehow. These people master the dark arts, black magic. I'm convinced that they partake in these little rituals, like these non-contact injuries. I mean, I witnessed a non-contact injury. So, in these guys are must be these guys fake injuries. I guarantee it. Why did Carson Palmer of the Cardinals fake his injury? Because the no home team has played a Super Bowl at their own stadium, and got to play along with that script. So Carson Palmer was out for the season with a non-contact injury. So it was no coincidence he gets hurt the year that the Cardinals hosted the Super Bowl. That was the year that the Patriots beat the Seahawks in another rigged game. So these non-contact injuries are fake injuries. They're just, these guys are script writers. Jason Tatum, oh my God. He returns back in the spring, and Jason Tatum balls out, and everyone's ready to write off the Celtics next year. A whole fucking clown, Tony, and a whole clown pussy actor. Tony Torture, aka Tony Trump, 44. What you be on? I don't know what you on about, honestly. Kevin Durant is gonna watch the Thunder win the title. If the stars align, no pun intended. Dallas Stars had some bad luck, didn't they? Did they lose to Tampa Bay? Maybe they have it coming. Maybe they have their time coming. Maybe they do. Shaming ritual. Thunder win without Kevin Durant. Mbappe leaves for Real Madrid to win the Champions League, and PSG win the Champions League without Mbappe. Mbappe and Kevin Durant. I can't wait to see these two guys get clowned. Kylian Mbappe and Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant is a wimp and a wussy and a cupcake, and he'll be replying to everybody on Twitter. Cupcake always replies to these people. Who did the public have on the spread tonight is the question. Now, who did the public have on the spread? You say everybody and their mother knew the Thunder would cover tonight, but who did? So you're saying the public was all in on the Thunder to destroy the Timberwolves? I don't give a damn if Thunder equals 36. This is a gematria trap. Thunder win the title because we must concern ourselves with common sense that simply the Thunder are far better and no one's going to beat the Thunder. In number two, we must pay attention to SGA equaling 27 and GOAT King LeBron, the scoring king on 2-7 against the Thunder. And it's the Thunder that win the last championship before GOAT King LeBron James with the back-to-back to send the Knicks to 2-7 is what the Thunder are going to do. So the link that I posted was link number 1, and link number 2 is basically the psychological operation, the NBA rig psychological operation. CWE says Thunder not winning the championship until Kevin Durant goes there. Not so fast. Not so fast. Kevin Durant is never, ever, ever going back to the Oklahoma City Thunder. Kevin Durant is forever known as the Snake. I'm ready to clown Molten. No, Thunder ain't winning shit. NBA doesn't give the title to young cats like the Thunder. Won't even make the finals. This is funny. I'm ready. I'm ready for this. I'm ready for this. I told you Las Vegas wasn't going to pay out these Minnesota Timberwolves. They hook and bait the masses. We know better than to fall for the hook and bait tactic y'all be trying to set people up with, Las Vegas. I told you it's about Seattle 19 and Lakers 19th title and size 19 and Lakers 19th title. It's what it's about. Okay, I had clown emoji there. I will do another next Thunder video. I don't give a damn if Indiana wins game 1. Halliburton is gonna have his moments. The New York Knicks, I'm convinced the NBA is not going to let Indiana versus Oklahoma City happen. How does SGA handle the bright lights of New York City? Please tell me the Knicks are not going to blow this series. The Knicks purposely lost the game because Jim Irsay died. And his last tweet said, "Let's go Pacers." So the Pacers had to win the game right after the death of the Indianapolis Colts owner, Jim Irsay. But the Knicks, the NBA likes to have a big market in the NBA Finals every year. Last year, Boston. 2023, Miami, big market. Denver had international fans with Nikola Jokic. Let's be real. I don't think most of Phoenix Suns are a huge fan base, but Phoenix is one of the top populated cities in the NBA. Phoenix, Milwaukee, Giannis has an international presence. 2020, LA. 19, Golden State, and of course the entire country of Canada cheering on the Toronto Raptors. And then your David Stern NBA won a big team every single year. And there's pretty much Warriors, the Warriors and the Cleveland Cavaliers. So which Patreon are you referring to? Who's he? Whose Patreon are you referring to? But again, you just have to be wary of the psyop, and you must, as I say, in doubt, when dealing with the psyop, trust the gematria. In this case, I trusted the gematria that the NBA planned one matchup from the beginning, and the public wasn't supposed to be in on this matchup. But ultimately, by conclusion, the NBA was planning the Knicks against the Thunder if the Knicks are going to go for their first title in 52 years, and Oklahoma City's 52, and then the Thunder haven't won a title in 46 years, and Jalen Brunson's 46, and they win without Kevin Durant, and Devin Durant is on Phoenix, and Phoenix is 46. So that's my conclusion. They win a title in 46 years, the Lake Show is 46. This ends my NBA segment. I hope you enjoyed this segment. I'm done talking about basketball. Vegas ain't paying out, but they ain't paying out for good reason. Because this means that profits are maximized this year, and this means that if you maximize profits to the core this year by having the Celtics lose and the Lakers and the Warriors, the public's favorite teams, Curry and in the bar, and you have Celtics lose, and then you have everyone's love story, Cleveland, and you have Cleveland lose. Then basically the profits are maximized this year to get ready for the lower profits for the next 2 years dealing with the LA Lakers. $223 days remaining, but isn't Oklahoma City 223? Isn't Oklahoma City 223? Man, this is hilarious. Part of me is glad that these guys lost UC because people are just not going to hype this guy like he's Michael Jordan. It's like he's a great player, but let Anthony Edwards be Anthony Edwards. It's like he doesn't have to be someone that he's not. Like Goki Laban is Goki Laban, and his legacy is unique in its own way, and it has a different playing style to Michael Jordan. But you see, he don't have to be score every single play. It's let's run the offense every play, and let's make the right read. Let's make the right play. And I'm a playmaker, not a scorer. So, man, these fans start calling everybody Michael Jordan. They're crazy. They're deluded. This Anthony Edwards psyop was by design. He'll have his time in the script. He will have his time to win a title. I think this guy won't win a title till the 2030s. He gonna win. He gonna win. It'll be the 2030s when this guy wins the title. But if the Knicks do beat the Thunder and lose against the Lakers, then I can see Kevin Durant in the New York Knicks beating the Timberwolves in 2029. I can see the Timberwolves in the championship in 2029. Edwards is 29. Manhattan is 29. Ant-Man is going to have his moment to make it to the finals someday, but he's got to sacrifice his own ring to allow his idol Kevin Durant to win the title. And Anthony Edwards is going to throw the championship in 2029. Because you can't have Kevin Durant winning his only rings with the Golden State Warriors. That's all I got for the NBA. Screw the game-by-game picks. The NBA boring as hell. The boring-ass finals matchups. But let's see a good contested matchup next year. I want to see a good contested matchup between LeBron and the Lakers and whoever it is that they're chosen to face off against the finals. And for me, the Boston Celtics are going to be just that. Maybe Lakers really do get home court next year if the Celtics really do struggle. The uncertainty of the Celtics makes next year it makes the regular season worth following to see how the Lakers do. Is LeBron on the court? Is he dealing with injuries? Blah, blah, blah. And of course, how do the Celtics handle the loss of Jason Tatum? That is what makes the regular season very compelling because I want to know who is going to have home court between the Lakers and the Celtics. And if we have Game 7, then the Celtics should have home court. So will LeBron have an injury too, like Jason Tatum? I really can't wait till next year. This year is boring. The Thunder won the title, but the Warriors are out, and the Lakers are out, and the Celtics are out, and the Cavs are out. So hand the Thunder the title. Kevin Durant winning without Kevin Durant. And then on next Saturday, the Merida loses the final, and the PSG are going to win without Mbappe.